everybody. Welcome to Eva's Apples. I'm Eva, and these are my apples. Today I'm going to show you how to make a basic tomato sauce for pasta. Today's version is vegetarian, although you could add ground beef or even ground turkey for extra flavor. Today we're also going to add some pureed carrots to this sauce. So we're going to give it another vegetable and another little layer of flavor to it. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is peel and chop up some carrots. Now, in this bag of carrots, I've chosen the more slender carrots because that means less chopping for me, and then I can save the fatter ones for shredding later on. So let's get to peeling, and then I'm going to chop these up. In the meantime, you want to get a pot of water going, just a little water at the bottom, maybe an inch or two, and the pot needs to be wide enough to fit a steamer basket inside. If you don't have one of these, what you could do is you could crisscross some silverware, lay it on the bottom here in a bigger pot, and those carrots will steam up nicely. Put a lid on it, it's going to bring the heat up quicker. Okay, so the carrots are in the pot, and you can just go ahead and cover this up and let them steam while we start the rest of the sauce. At this point, you could add some herbs if you like. I just got a fresh thyme plant, so I'm going to go over here and just grab off a little of this. Isn't this cute? There we go. I'm just going to grab off a little. I haven't used thyme in this sauce before, so I just want to start off with a little bit because I know thyme is peppery. It's a nice strong flavor. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on the top and see what that does for the flavoring. Always taste your food as you go, though, to see if it needs more or less of something next time. And now I'm going to chop up one onion. Now, if you have a friend nearby that wears contact lenses, you might want to get him or her to do this. Now, I don't have any tips for how to chop onions without crying. I'm one of those weird people who kind of enjoy it. It makes me feel alive. But feel free to leave a comment to let me know your favorite tip for avoiding the tears when chopping up an onion. Usually I can just chop for a little while, then I have to run out of the kitchen with tears streaming down my face looking like an idiot. But that's kind of the fun of cooking. Okay, so I'm almost done with this onion. Oh, I guess my only trick is have a plan of attack and chop quickly. Okay, I'm going to leave this here right now, and I'm just going to go outside to get some fresh air for my poor little eyes. Okay, I've turned on the stove pot onto medium-low heat. We want this to be pretty low for our onions to soften up a bunch. They're going to be really soft. To this, I want you to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Now, somebody's explained this to me before, but I don't know really. I still don't understand why they call it extra virgin olive oil. I look in this bottle every day, and there still aren't any extra virgins in here. So I feel like I'm being ripped off. I don't know about you. To this, go ahead and add our onions. Ah, the sizzle. Love it. And from here, we're just going to kind of sit back, give it a stir with a wooden spoon. And we just want to slowly cook these. We don't want to caramelize them. We want to make them really soft and translucent. This is going to take 5 to maybe even 8 minutes. So we're going to open up 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and 1 can of diced tomatoes. And those will just go right into the pot in a little bit. Garlic goes in first, though. Let's go ahead and open these up. Okay, so I've just opened up my final can of tomato sauce, and it's worth noting that these are the extra large 28-ounce cans. And I noticed after that last can was open, Kitty, she thinks it's tuna. And I don't want to disappoint her, so would you like a kitty treat? Oh, what a sweetheart. Let's go ahead and give her a kitty treat. These are up here, always on hand, because we don't want to play any tricks on the kitty, right? Okay, but Kitty does do a trick for us. Let's see if she'll do it. Are you ready? Bobby socks. Jump, jump. Good kitty. 16 years old, still kicking. Okay, now I always have garlic on hand. As a cook, it's invaluable. It's so cheap and plentiful and so easy to find. It would be a shame to not have garlic around. So I just took a clove off of here. I'm going to chop off the top part here. And then take my knife, watch the edge, but give it a smack. And what that's going to do, peeled garlic, no problem. Okay, we're just going to use our regular garlic press. I love this one. This one works just fabulously. I've had this for probably more than 10 years. Take it, and we're going to crush this right into the sauce. So you're going to want to take a knife and scrape that off. But okay, our onions are nice and translucent. In goes 1 can of crushed tomatoes. 2 cans crushed tomatoes. Now, if your cat is meowing at this point, go ahead and just ignore her because there's more important things in life, and that's adding the diced tomatoes. So, sorry, kitty cat, you're just going to have to wait. Give it a stir. Bring up those nice, delicious onions from the bottom and the garlic from the bottom, and also the 3 bay leaves. Come back, Bay. And we want to leave this on low, but we do want to put a lid on it. So go ahead and get your lid. Get your lid and... Okay, so let's take a look at our sauce. We see some little bubbling action going on. At this point, we are going to add a very special ingredient, tofu. Now this is a firm block of tofu. Now, if you don't like tofu, you don't have to use it, but I promise it just adds some bulk to the sauce and a little extra protein and nutrients. Make sure that if somebody's eating the sauce, that they don't have a soy allergy. If they don't have a soy allergy and they just don't like it, don't tell them, because that's what I do. This is my favorite part, though. You take this tofu, you just tear off a little block of it, and this is my favorite part. Just squish it in there. Ta-da! Repeat until done. Okay, so here's the tofu and the sauce, and now I'm just going to add some salt. I use kosher salt, but you can use sea salt or regular salt or irregular salt or whatever. I'm going to start with 3, I guess these are, do these have teaspoons? Yeah, so about 1.5 teaspoons. Let's go with 2 teaspoons of salt. And also, we're going to now add our basil. Now, this is some basil that I grew. This isn't Thai basil. This is just basil. And with dried herbs, what you always want to do with dried herbs, sprinkle some in your hand, a nice palmful, and then crush them up as you add it to the sauce. And what that's going to do is going to help release some of the flavor and the oils and all of that. I'm going to start with that handful and give it a stir. Let's check on our carrots, too. Hi, carrots. How is it going? Oh, they look lovely. They're a nice bright color still. Okay, so the sauce is looking beautiful. I tasted it. I did add a little bit of pepper. I think the salt was perfect, but I've been stirring it and making sure that it's looking great. So I think it's ready for us to add our carrots. Now the carrots should be cooked enough to where you can take a knife and just kind of drop it across them and it just goes right through like butter. Like butter. Okay, so the carrots are in the sauce. Let's go ahead and give this a stir. Now remember, the carrots are already hot, so we're not going to have to wait for that second boil. We're just going to wait for this to cook down. We want this to reduce, and what that means is to leave the lid off of it and let it continue cooking and steaming, and so that the moisture, all of the water vapor, escapes. And what this is going to do is this is going to create a thicker sauce, and it's going to reduce down. Okay, so our sauce has reduced a bit. We've been letting it sit here and simmering away for about about 30 to 40 minutes. You can leave it on here probably as long as you like, as long as you keep checking on it. What we're going to do now is move it over here to a hot pad, and we're going to blend it up with our hand blender. Okay, I've returned the sauce to the heat, and you can see how smooth this is now. It is not chunky, it is smooth. Now there's still, believe it or not, a lot of water content in here, so you want to keep this on the heat. You can use it now if you're ready to make some pasta, but if you want to freeze it, which is what I like to do, then you're going to want to leave this on the heat for even longer to help it reduce even further. Okay, that's about it. Our sauce is ready. Make sure you let it cool on the stove unless you're going to use the whole thing at once. Otherwise, you can scoot it into some small containers to put into the freezer. Until next time, I'm Eva, and we've been